All right, lesson 3 is called perimeter, and actually there's two parts to lesson 3. One part is the perimeter, and another part is called circumference. And really, they mean the same thing. In the past, you learned that a perimeter is simply the distance around an object. So if you have say you have a room that is 15 feet by say 10 feet. Now to find the distance around the room, you find the perimeter. So 15, which means this is 15, and the ends are 10. So 15 and 10 is 25, and then add another 25, and the perimeter of the room then is 50 feet then. Let's take a look at example 1. The length of a rectangle is 10 centimeters. So I'm going to make a rectangle. And it says the width is 5. So this is a 5 by 10 rectangle. Find the perimeter. Now you got to make sure that you add up all 4 sides. You find the distance around the whole object. So 10 and 10 is 20, 5 and 5 is 10, and we get 30 centimeters as the perimeter of that rectangle. In example 2, the perimeter of a square is 12. Now remember, in a square, each side is the same length, so each side is 12 meters. And excuse me, I got to back up a step. I almost made an error on that one. It says the perimeter of the square is 12. So they've already added the sides together, and you get 12 meters. Now it asks for the length of one of the sides. Well, since it's a square, each side is the same. What number could you add together 4 times and get 12? And the answer is 3 meters. Now another way, since this is a square, another way you could have done this problem is taken 12 divided by 4, because there's 4 equal sides of the square. So each side then is 3 meters. Now in example 3, we really get into the true part of the Algebra 1 part of the perimeter. And you've probably had these problems before. Now in example 3, they want you to find the perimeter. Now, as best to my artistic ability as I can, I've drawn this diagram, and it's, like I say, it could be better, but you kind of get the idea of what the object or the diagram is. So we need to find the perimeter of it. Now in the past, you may have tried to find the missing sides, maybe tried to find that side, maybe tried to find that side. You know, that's fine, but sometimes you don't have enough information to do that. I'm going to show you a way that you might want to consider. So first of all, let's try to find out the perimeter of this object. Now I'm highlighting that side. That side we can easily tell is 12. Now, what would this part plus this part plus this part add up to? They would add up to 12 also, wouldn't they? We know this is 5, so I'm going to write down a 5. We know that this end is 5, so another 5. Now, have I accounted for all the sides of this object? And the answer to that is no, because this is 2, which means this is 2. So I have 2 more 2's. So I have a 24, I have a 10, and I have a 4. So 24 and 10 is 34, add 4, 38 units. So whatever this measurement would be, inches, feet, maybe miles, it's 38 units. And notice that we accounted for all the sides of the object. Let's take a look at example 4. Now, example 4, I'm going to show you, a couple ways you might do this. I can easily see that this is 20. So let me ask you this question: what would this part plus this part add up to? And the answer is 20 also. I can see this is 25, so I have a 25. And what would this part plus this part add up to? Another 25. So I have 40, I have 50, total of 90 units. Now, it's nice to see me highlighting these sides. Now, when you're doing your assignments or examples like this, it would be a very good idea for you to make this diagram on your paper. So I actually sketch the diagram, put in the lengths, and then kind of mark off the sides, kind of like as I highlight the sides. So that way you don't just, you eliminate room for error here. Make the diagram. Mark off the sides as I've highlighted the sides. Now another way you might do this problem is you could maybe find the missing links. Let's see, this side is 20. So let's see, 10 plus what is 20? So that's 10. This whole length is 25, so 8 plus what is 25? So what's this length then? That would be 17. Now in this case, you have enough information to find the missing links, and then you could add all those numbers up, and you get the same answer as we did in the previous slide. One last example, example 5. I'm going to use the method that I originally demonstrated because it always works. Let's see, I know this is 15, don't I? So I've got a 15. I also know that this part plus this part add up to 15. Now I don't know the whole length of the bottom, do I? But I do know that 15 plus 10 is 25, so I've got a 25, which means that this whole length is 25. So I have a 30, I have a 50, so my total is 80 units, which is the perimeter. And I just went over that. Okay, so try using this method. Make sure that when you're finding perimeter, you're accounting for all the sides, and the topic was called perimeter.